It brings us to a new segment that I want to bring in. It's called Real Talk with Riddick, Louis Riddick, our front office insider. He's already got the pose, like, this is what I'm saying to you. That's what we want from him now. So we'll ask him. We'll ask him what he thinks and how he would act as a GM, how he would handle any particular situation. So you got a big one here, Louis. A week ago, Jarrett Stidham was expected to be the starting quarterback for the Patriots. So now you got Cam Newton in the fold. So you're a GM here. Real talk. What are you saying to Jarrett Stidham right now?
I think first and foremost, right out the gate, I'm saying, look, this is a competition-based business, man. This is the big boy league. This is the NFL. And look, a long time ago, I remember someone telling me this about the NFL from a front office perspective. My job is to replace you. If I can't replace you, I've done my job. And that's really what it comes down to, right? I mean, coaches and front office together, and with Bill, he's the same guy. He's the coach and he is the front office. He is always going to be looking to provide maximum amount of competition for his football team across all positions. And if he sees a chance to upgrade his roster, that's what he's going to try and do. So what you're telling Jarrett Stidham is this: you just take care of your business. You've been here a year. You worked under the greatest of all time in Tom Brady. You know this system. You know what Josh McDaniels, offensive coordinator, expects of you. You know you have a leg up from a mental standpoint and from a familiarity standpoint with this offense. So take the ball and run with it here. I would line him up first team at the beginning of training camp and then let the chips fall where they may. But just handle your business. Don't worry about what we're doing with the rest of this team. Just trust me in this. I'm going to make the best decisions for this football team and for the New England Patriots. And Bill has always said that. So for Jarrett Stidham, it's about just keeping your eye on the prize. Just keep your eye on your job. Do your job, as Bill Belichick says. And if you do your job, then we won't have to replace you. We won't have to take you out of there. Simple as that.
So you start the season with him as the number one option?
Absolutely. Look, I think in terms of executing this offense, he's the guy who has been through an entire offseason, training camp, regular season, now a virtual offseason again with Josh McDaniels, where we all know that players take a tremendous jump from year one to year two from a mental standpoint, and they're able to then transfer that to playing faster on the football field. Although these guys haven't been on the field, there's no question that he would be able to execute this offense efficiently at a much higher level than what Cam would do, simply because he's more familiar with it. So why would you just throw Cam in there right now when he hasn't even been through the virtual offseason? If Cam's going to return to his previous 2015 MVP form, then it won't take, he will show that once he gets into training camp and he's able to get the mental part of this offense down. But for starters, I'm putting Jarrett Stidham in there, and then I'm letting them go after each other and see how it plays out.
All right, true competition. Let's bring in Rob Ninkovich and Dan Graziano joining us now. Rob, do you agree with Louis that Stidham go into training camp as that number one option?
Yeah, I mean, look, he understands the offense. He's been there over a year, and he was with Tom Brady last year, being able to learn underneath him, being with Josh McDaniels and understanding the system. And with the contract that they signed Cam to, this is an open competition, and Bill's going to say every single year, my job is to bring in the best players to compete against each other for us to have to decide who the best 53 is for this roster. So when you look at the things that they're doing right now, every single year they're going to bring in what they feel like is the best competition to bring the best out of everybody. It's not their job to worry about feelings, to worry about how guys feel about competing, because he's going to tell you, if you're not willing to compete and you don't like competition, then this is not the place for you. So the Patriots are always going to bring in competition. They're going to do it in every single position room, and it's up to Cam to go into there and to compete for a job. He's not a first-round pick anymore. He's not the highest-paid quarterback or didn't sign a huge contract with guaranteed money. So now it's just an open competition. They're going to play the best player.
All right, Dan, I want to bring you in. From what you're hearing, is Stidham still part of the Patriots' long-term plan?
They definitely still like it. Look, the Cam Newton signing was not about Jarrett Stidham. It was about being able to get Cam Newton for that incredible bargain price. I mean, if Cam Newton was signing a contract worth $8 million, $10 million, $15 million a year, the Patriots wouldn't have it. They bring him on this deal, and they're going to give him a shot. If he doesn't show that he's healthy, if he doesn't show that he's his old self, he may not even make their team, and then they go back to what the plan was a couple weeks ago with Jarrett Stidham and Brian Hoyer. So it's a one-year deal for Cam. If he comes in and wins the starting job and plays well, he's a free agent next year. They still would at that point have Stidham with 2 years of development in their system as a potential option, but they remain high on his ability, and if it ends up being another developmental year for Jarrett Stidham in New England, that's not the end of the world for him or them.
You know, it's what makes the Patriots so unique. It's not about inheriting a starting job or you get this job because you've been there. Every year it seems like guys have to compete for their spots, and it's what makes them great, frankly.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.